Russell Westbrook working on his new jump shot. Man, Ben Simmons looks weird in this video. He's just finally shooting with the proper hand. Y'all ain't ready. So I'm actually intrigued here. He usually jumps out of the gym on his jump shots. Seeing that low controlled shot could really be a big factor. Westbrook's shooting motion is normally very tense. It has a stone cold motion that it's abundantly clear he pauses mid-air for longer than normal and then releases the shot. Many breakdowns already suggested numerous times that his shooting mechanic is very poor because of his still motion. I guess that can be attributed to how tense Westbrook plays. You still see that long pause here, but the release is a little smoother. I do think in-game speed his shooting motion won't be much different than it was many years prior. It looks good now, but we won't truly know if he keeps this up until it's the regular season. He's wearing a Laker jersey, that's a minus 10-15 3% penalty. Can he go into negative percents or does it loop around and he goes 90%? Russell Westbrook. Lower elbow set point, less delay of release after jump so it's more one motion instead of two like his old jump shot. Didn't Kobe make a similar change near the end of his career? The form honestly looks very good. Hope he can apply this in real games. On another realization, it's easy to make fun of subpar shooters in the NBA, but these guys are levels above compared to anybody else. Guys like Mitchell Robinson, Simmons, Adams, etc. are probably shooting upwards of 60% from 3 in practice. Hess my fave player, but the 3-point shoot looks too stiff and flat. Maybe the stiffness will help control his shot more compared to his old routine. It does look a bit slow though. There won't be anybody running him off the line, that's for damn sure. Remember when the proper form was to leap high and release it at the top of the jump, and everything else was wrong? A lot of different people pushed back on that nonsense, but Steph was the final nail in the coffin. You can't credibly argue the best shooter in history is shooting it wrong. I hope this new shot works for Russ, he seems like a good guy. I certainly enjoyed seeing him in a Wizards uniform for a season. Isn't that the difference between a 1-motion, 1.5 motion and a 2-motion shot? If I'm not mistaken, Steph still does shoot it off the top of his shot, it's just not a 2-motion shot. Court needs more lines. I need dyslexia trying to see whether it's a 3-pointer. Couldn't they at least make them different colors so you can see quickly which ones go with which basket? Rumor going round is he's shooting 35% from 3 this year. I'll buy you on the Vans of your choice if he does that. He's never reached 35% in his life. I'm just joking, but I'll remember this. I'm joking too, the real offer is we go half on one. Word, I got some chick I knew from high school, hope that's aight. You got the link, my guy? Eyes. Insert LeBron quote about practicing things you don't use in a game. If you think Russ isn't launching threes, you haven't watched him his entire career. Form genuinely looks good, hopefully it applies in game, but that's a lot to ask lol. He's been doing this for like 3 seasons now, partly because his shot form is different for pull-ups and shots off the catch. His catch and shoot form is pretty controlled with very little elevation. His pull-up is a 2-motion shooting form where he is trying to jump out of the gym. This form looks closer to his catch and shoot jumper. Wasn't this also where Hoodie Melo was filmed? Just saying. It's a popular gym players use when they're in NYC. I've seen Kevin Love and Duncan Robinson use it too. 31% on 4 threes a game this year. Literally just his career averages. At this point in his career he should be happy about that. Oof, but true. SSB Brody. Looks great actually, way different mechanics. What's different about his mechanics? JST looks like he's doing it not in game. Previously he was jumping really high for the 3, releasing at the top but using arm strength instead of transferring momentum from legs. Now he's releasing the 3 much lower and earlier and getting more momentum from his legs. This is a much more standard way of shooting threes, similar to Steph but slower. I agree with you entirely. My point is that players usually shoot much calmer in practice and this just looks like that to me. Maybe I am missing a mechanical difference in his lower body, but like NBA players don't even need to jump to hit a 3-pointer, although in game some jump pretty high. Agree that most players shoot practice shots as set shots, but his release point looks slightly lower on the catch and shoot attempts and he has noticeably less elevation on the dribble pull-ups. Can't fully tell until he actually does it in game, but it looks like a concerted effort to not jump as high. Alright, let's keep an eye on that during season. I dig the hair. Uh-oh. Happy learned to putt. Def not an expert, but I immediately noticed he's jumping way less now. Seems like he made similar changes that Rondo and Kidd did late in their careers. It's never too late for change. Anytime I see NBA players around normal people, he looks pretty tall here. Does he look slimmer or is it just me? Russ working on his weakness in offseason to give Lakers a full potential game to win his first title. Looks like he's changing to a lower jump and lower release point, looks way cleaner than his jumper, just hope he's actually gonna use this in game or Bron will be annoyed. He's been in the league over a decade, I'm sure this will be the second year where he's a decent 3-point shooter/S. League fucked. This really excites me as a Lakers fan. I think it shows that Westbrook will prioritize the mid-range this season, or, at least, that's what I'm hoping. Westbrook has showcased his versatility the last few seasons. Now he can focus on his specific role that will get this team a championship. Saw this same form in the training camp before his Rockets season. It means nothing. I think this is the real deal and that he'll be able to translate it into games in his spot-up attempts. The most unrealistic thing about the video is that everyone knows he will use about 10x more energy in his jump when he shoots in a game. That will completely throw off everything he's doing casually in this clip. Hopefully what Hess working on is jumping consistently the same on his shot, that alone will improve it wonders. I agree, but his form in this one goes up so casually that it doesn't look game real at all. I guess we'll see. Looks good, but he's always like this. His preseason vids looks good, but in real games his jump shots goes back to that delayed wonky release. Also blue hair Russ. Let's go. Definitely somewhat of a hitch. Why the pull-up still the old form? That actually does seem to be improved form. Imagine if he becomes like a decent 35% shooter out of nowhere lol. Westbrook really gonna decide now to shoot 40% from 3 after teaming with LeBron OFC? I have a question. Why does it seem like all jump shot practices I've seen from NBA players are low jumps? When watching real games it seems that they jump higher on jump shots. Is that their actual jumping height when both in practice and real games? Russ is a smart guy, he knows he's playing with a very ball-dominant LeBron and no longer has quite the athleticism he used to, albeit he is still elite. Off-ball has been one of his biggest struggles as a player. KD was never a vocal leader, whereas LeBron is. Could be a good mix for Russ's expansion as a player, taking on another type of leadership and not having the pressure of being the drafted superstar of the team. It'd be hilarious if he actually shoots the ball well this year. And it'd suck because if he can shoot, the Lakers are gonna be really really good. Most likely he'll shoot below 30% from 3, but hey, the offseason is for this shit. He used to jump so high each time. Hope he does this in game though. This is just one same jump shot on the loop. Is his form the problem, or his shot selection? Only for him to not apply it in games like every other poor 3-pint shooter who posts videos of their new shot in the offseason. Bro, I am so psyched about basketball starting next month. Can't wait to see how much some of these players' power level has gone up. Looks like Draymond's shot. Clearly says on the wall he's in NYC, obviously dude's just not committed to LA. I think he'll ask for a trade. This looks like a sponsor me video for Dr. Scholl's. Laker flare sweating. Lol, at the end it starts to revert back to the old shot. I feel like this changes when he's playing game speed and he's gonna be back to jumping 4 feet in the air and launching it at the backboard. That time of the year where everyone with a bad jumper comes out with a video of themselves making it look like they're suddenly a green. Draymond should be coming out soon. He needs to get in a rhythm to be at his best. I suggest taking at least 14 threes a game. Basketball player shoots ball at basket, more at 11. Still gonna be 15 for 45 from the floor.